The StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Emma.
I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 442.
Getting
Lots of
close
fours,
to
lots of
4-4.
twos. How have you been?
Good, busy. Yep. Just so
Yeah,
much going on with between the three spokes of my life. It's
yep.
just cannot I don't know. I just get to the point where I just feel done at the end of the day.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, I was telling folks last night on the VKN that Jeremy is out of town this week, and so I'm also getting reminded how much he does when he's here, right? So
Right.
I'm not the early morning person normally. Anybody that knows me knows that that is not my thing. But like, so he gets up and gets the, coffee being made and gets the boys off to the buses in the morning. And I've been having to do combine that with a little bit of like I don't sleep as well when like I don't know. Again, I don't I just it's not the noises that he makes in like while sleeping, like snoring or whatever. I think it's just like a little anxiety reducing, I guess, when you've got like another human being that's like handling things if something happens in the house in the middle of the night or something. I don't know. My
Yeah.
brain hasn't been able to shut off. Maybe it's like you that I've got multiple things happening in all the spokes of my life that that's causing it and not his absence, but that it's a contributing factor for sure. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, work is working, like got a
mhm.
lot of due dates and stuff going on this summer. And then we've got our kids graduating and the retreat planning is just like it's at the crucial juncture. Lots of information needs to come in, lots of information needs to go out. And just making sure that I hit those timeline markers is critical. So,
Meanwhile, time marches forward so
oh,
quickly.
absolutely.
Like I feel like all of my Zoom passwords recently for a lot of our ZKN stuff has been like mid-May already, right? Like what? Like I'm putting the dates on the emails, and I'm like, how is this even possible?
Right.
All right. I know that this is the charming part of our podcast where we talk about how time is going so quickly and how busy we are. But I know we are out there looking for prizes for ZK.
Mhm.
So if you've got a prize, you can either reach out to Amy or I at StockinetteZombies. Or we do have a shiny new email address, prizes at StockinetteZombies, that you can send an email if you're interested. It goes to a multi-region area, and we do talk about it on the podcast here as part of the ZK enabling episode, as well as people take them home with them and like say, look, ooh, shiny, what I got at ZK. Woo. So a lot of different marketing opportunities, I guess, in sending your item to us via the podcast, via in person, everybody hearing it at the event, and then when people take it home. So, and everybody's very appreciative. Everybody loves the prizes and loves our sponsors. So please sponsor. Said a lot
Yeah.
there, Amy. Yeah.
Yeah, and we even had a very generous attendee de-stash some things to us. So we have some lovely prizes of some bases I've never tried before. So it was wonderful to look through and at least get to touch and feel some of the things that I haven't had a chance to purchase yet. And yeah, so we have quite a hefty bag of prizes from Ruth. So thank you, Ruth. And
Woohoo.
yeah, and then just very, very overwhelmed with the generosity of people wanting to donate to each and every one of you. So we do have a lot of people who are sending goodie bag prizes. So that's just everybody gets one, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, this is the time of year also where I get to pretend to be a graphic artist, or at least in the moonlighting of it. So we do have all of our ZK swag as well as the craft along logos for Zombie Explorer and Self Striper out in our spreadshirt. I will give you a heads up: the shirts go pretty quickly, and they are really like they print them pretty quickly, and so if you're trying to time it to come to ZK. I have noticed some slowness. This year we added a zipper bag and a tote. So I don't know if the printing process is slower or maybe they're a little more backed up, but I have noticed some slowness there. Like, orders that I put in for a past prize winner took like a week and a half to get like the it shipped notification. So it's a
Mm.
little less drop shippy. So just a heads up. And again, I think if you ordered a shirt to wear to ZK, it would get immediately shipped, and they don't like hold off and wait to ship it with the bags. But yeah, just a heads up there. A lot of seeing a lot of those orders come in, so thank you that for those that have. And yeah, stay tuned for the logo stuff that you'll get in the awesome goodie bag.
Yes, yes, lots of graphics going on, and very excited to put that together for you all. And yeah, it is the fun part. It's just the whew, I got a lot to do part.
Yes, well, yeah. I mean, Oprah gets to be like, and you get a car, and you get a car. We're not giving away cars as our goodie bags or our prizes. But there is a lot of coordination that happens with that, right?
Yes.
That you get to see the fun, like final moment. And that's when everybody comes and registers and gets their goodie bag. That's the fun final moment. If you love that moment, definitely sign up to help us with registration.
Yep.
Ooh, look at this. But yes, all of those items have to make it there. All of those items have to be, yeah, assembled at some point. So for easy distribution. And so, yeah, it's, um,
Yep.
it's a lot of work and a lot of fun, as most things are.
And sign up for the 5K that went out.
Yep,
So
yep. Please,
get
please
that
do
in.
join us. We do have a great time. Somebody was commenting last night about how warm it was last year. And I was like, well, we could probably do it a little earlier in the day, but like also that means I have to get up like a ton earlier. Um, and I'm already getting up pretty early to get all of the signs and items over there. So it's yeah, it's a great event. Whether or not you are running it, jogging it, rolling it, or just cheering people on. It's a lot of fun, and it gets us outside. So a lot of the event can be indoors, and this is at least a piece of it that you get to go see the riverfront, or I guess
And
I don't know.
remind me, it's two loops, right? So you
Yep.
can stop
Yep.
at one loop and be like, okay, that was great. Everybody else enjoy. I'm gonna go sit down and
Yeah, if
yeah.
you're not interested in getting the like winter swag, right? Like yeah, the mention last night was like, "Hey, we could do a loop before it actually officially starts," right? And I was like, yeah, I mean, you will have completed the 5K. It's just not going to be timed for you, right? And able to win prizes. So yeah, it can be sort of choose your own adventure. We did have a choose your own adventure option at one point, but it became very hard to get people their participation items. So again, if you happen to run into me and are like, hey, I did the 5K, but I didn't quite make it to the event, I'm sure we'll have extra swag. We often do. But yeah, it's that's not an official route anymore, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, all
I
the
don't
ZK things. Can you tell we're excited?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have much else, but I did bring whips. So
Awesome.
let's
That's something right there.
yeah, very
ZK
true.
is definitely a work in progress.
So this particular item has a little bit of a sadness, but I'm hoping to find out soon if the sadness is truly sadness or if I'm gonna have to like call on my dire friends to help me out. Um,
Uh-oh.
but I have this beautiful sweater, but you can see that it's got a spot down there.
Oh no. What happened?
I don't know. I noticed something that got spilled on it and I thought it was coffee. So I tried to wash or rinse it out and normally that wouldn't stain anything, it would just,
Yeah.
but that is there and it's still on the needles and I'm nowhere near done. So I'm hoping that once it's all done, I can wash it, like properly wash it, and magic will happen. But
It's
if magic
cotton,
doesn't
right?
happen,
Which is
huh?
like, yeah, yeah. It's cotton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the magic doesn't happen and I love the fit, I might be like, hey, can you fix this for me? And then send it
Over
back.
diet. Yeah.
Yes, over diet. So that it's a different color, but I will be able to appreciate it and wear it.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it's going along. I will say the one thing about knitting this cotton that is fingering weight and on 2.5s, it's taking forever.
Ah,
And it's one of those, you measure and you think, oh, I only got another inch. You knit an inch, you measure again, and it went nowhere. And you're like, wait a minute, did I stretch it? Like what happened? So it may end up being a little long, just because I think with the weight, it is going to be longer than the measurements. Um, but I didn't want to have it be too short. So I'm finally at the ribbing
very good.
and I've got
Yeah.
5 more rounds and then I can work on the tiny, tiny sleeves. And then once that's done, I can figure out if the spot is permanent or not.
Uh-oh.
But
Yeah. It almost kind of looks like wine or something. Do you think it's a wine spot?
no, I haven't had any red wine since I started this.
Okay. And that is the anchor tee, and you're using
Yeah.
cotton from the Loopy U, right?
No, it's Eat Sleep
Oh,
Knit
sorry,
is
Eat
where I
Sleep
bought
Knit.
it.
You're right. Yep, yep.
And
Sorry, I think I
it's
was
this
looking at
thing.
cotton at the Loopy U recently. Yeah, Schweppes
Yeah.
or Schweppies
So
or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, they have like all the colors. It's really nice. Like I would highly recommend for a baby garment for sure. Um, because it's just so soft and cotton works for almost everybody. So yeah, that's my
Your poor
sad.
sweater. Yeah.
No, it's like, come on. And it's right there in the front. Like if it could
Yeah,
have just been
that was
under
the
an
other thing I was
arm
gonna
or
ask. Is it something that you could just put behind you, literally and figuratively?
but I was contemplating putting a like, yeah, an embroidery or something, right? Or uh when you overstitch. I could do that, but I'm not there yet. So we'll see. I know that a while back I had
Ooh.
talked about I got tubes done from my friend Sarah, who just recently got a sock knitting machine. And I've been working on making or converting them into socks. Um, and I have enough to make another pair of socks because a tube is just, I don't know, it feels infinite. Um,
What is that yarn? I love that how it has spiraled. Yeah.
yeah, this is sorry, Queen City Yarns. I don't remember the colorway, and it's got sparkles in it. I don't know if you can see
Ooh,
those, but it was deep stash, as
very
in I don't
pretty.
remember buying it or getting it, but it was there, so I used it.
Yeah, awesome. It's fun. I love it.
Yeah, and then here's a little tip. Like I went ahead and put every 10, just to make sure that I could pick up this afterthought heel at the exact same spot, and same with the underfoot to get to the toe. Um, when you're knitting when I'm knitting 2 socks, I usually tend to just measure to get to the right. But for this tube, I was kind of like, well, I should probably, being my first, I don't want to just eyeball it, or measure it and be like off by a couple rows. So
Yeah,
so I went ahead and I counted them. That's
very
that.
cool. I love them.
And
Those will be very nice socks.
yes. And then I think I had shown that I was getting farther along on my um box. Well, I did cast on the second one, so I brought it to show. There it is.
Excellent. Yes. Those are going to be very fun socks as well.
Yeah, well, and honestly, as soon as this I'm past the heel, which is kind of like the complicated part. Now it was kind of like, phew, I'm past that, and I set them down. But once I pick them up again, I'll be knitting on them until they're done. So that's kind of the stage I left them at. And then I've got two more. I decided to make a trove.
Mm,
So I have,
so fun. I love the color changing yarns in those mosaic
yeah.
motifs.
So this is Lottie from Queen City Yarns, and they worked with somebody else to get this made in their dyes. So
Peterbrook. Yep.
yeah, Feederbrook, yes, thank you. So beautiful, and that's really fun.
Very
And
fun.
then my white is just some Madeline Tosh that I had in my stash long ago. I think I mentioned that I will be playing Yarn Chicken. I think it's because of how dense this fabric is with all the slip stitches.
Huh.
Uh, I have the yardage that the pattern calls for, but this sport is lying to me. Like this says that it was Tosh Sport, but it feels like a DK. So I'm
Mm,
just really like, this is weird. Like I am getting nervous that I'm gonna run out of yarn, even though I've done all of this with one ball so far,
yeah.
one ball each. And I have this much left on one and this much on the other, right? So I think, that seems hopeful, but still nervous.
And then the sleeves are short sleeves, correct?
No, it's a long sleeve.
No? But you get quite a bit from the drop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, for sure. I think that it gets down to mid bicep before you add sleeves.
Very fun.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Can you flash the wrong side? Sorry, I'm such a
Oh,
like a
the
knitting
inside?
voyeur. Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, I kept debating on which combo I wanted to make with this. I thought about an alpine bloom. There's
Mhm.
a DK version of it, yeah? My
Yeah,
brain
I think
is
there's like a summer and fall like
yeah,
one.
so
Yeah.
I contemplated using this for the fall one, but I don't know.
Did
The
you do
tro
some matching between the front and the back on
oh
the
gosh, no.
colors? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not even from this side to the other.
That's fair. I thought I was seeing some and I was like, "Oh, look at you."
Uh-huh.
Got it. Yep. It was my eyes playing tricks on me because it
Right.
looks like,
Well, I'm
yeah.
hoping that that's what happens in life, right? It's going to be
Yeah.
done and everybody's going to just be mesmerized by the awesomeness and not
Yes.
notice that it's
Yep. No,
completely
that's perfectly
different.
fine. Here I am calling it out. And I should have just been like, "Hey, look at that."
No, I just went with straight knitting from the ball, and
Especially
not
if you're
trying to
feeling
keep
like
it.
you're going to be yarn chicken, right?
Yeah. The pattern itself has you picking distinct contrast colors, and then it tells you how many rows of each to do. So
Got it.
theirs is very like structured and tells you exactly how to lay out the stripes. So if you're interested, you have like mini skeins or something that you want to put into it, like it's very structured, and we'll walk you through that. Oh, I feel like I've got a froggy throat. And then I started an alpine bloom.
Oh, so pretty.
Yes, in pink.
Pretty
So
in
I'm
pink.
almost to the last color. So this is almost to the end of the fun part.
And am I spotting, is that, what's the gradient there?
This is minis. This was a kit that I bought from Beautiful Sister, Emma's Yarn. It had orange and pink in it, and they didn't gradiate. So I pulled out the oranges and put two different pinks in there so that they would gradiate. So this has a little bit of orange in it,
Yeah.
but let's see. So kit, not kit, kit, not kit, and the last one will be from the kit.
Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty, Amy. Ah,
Yeah. And
love
honestly,
it.
I think there would have been a way to do it with the kit. I just wasn't feeling it. I kind of wanted it to be two pinks,
Yeah.
and not a sunset, which is probably the traditional reasoning behind the um, or sunrise uh,
Yeah.
for the kit. But this is making me feel like it's going to be way too big on top. But I think that's Caitlin Hunter for me. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it happens.
That is most patterns for me, where to the point where I've gotten to like, I just provisionally cast on and like, yeah, make it work after the fact.
Yeah,
Or
it's
you
got
can pick
this
up
really
and
pretty
bind
wave,
off
so I didn't
tighter,
want
right?
to.
Yeah, that's true.
So cute. And I
It
think you
is.
even graft on the sleeves so that you can have
Mm.
it match completely. I haven't read through the pattern, but I think that that's where it's going. You graft on a tiny sleeve to the end of your color work,
Pretty.
but
Yeah.
which will be
Looks
worth the
very
effect, in
potato
my opinion.
chippy. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that once it gets to the body, it'll be kind of like the other sweater. I'll just be kind of measuring, measuring, measuring. I want to be done,
Yeah.
but yep. So that's a lot of whips.
It is, it is. I am the exact opposite. So I finished my colorwork sweater that I cast on here in May. It was my redo. And I told myself I was not going to get myself into a situation as I have in the past where I set it aside because I'm not interested in working on the sleeves. So like made myself finish the color work, and then the color work on that sweater goes like clear, like really far down. So I got myself into a spot where I could like tell myself like the slippery slope of like, just finish the stupid sleeves, right? Like,
Mhm.
just do it. Like you're mostly done anyway. So I wrapped that up. And so I don't have that to show. So you never got to see it as whip other than its previous iteration where it was very speckly. But I have been working on, so I've got some more split decision mitts. This was actually, I believe, a lavender loom. Like she was selling it as almost like a DK sock set. So the brown is a mini, and then the green is what is they were fun colorway names. So yeah, brown mini, and then the green is like some sleigh ride maybe.
Mhm.
It was yeah, a fun little and of course I can't find the thing as I'm looking for it. I can find my bag tag, Matterroot. But yeah, it's a fun green. Getting into some more of the manly
Mhm.
colors as I'm making my way through making these for additional people. But yeah, love that. Although don't count the ends that you have to weave in, because I was like, I sat down and finally like went through all of them, right? And woven ends, and I was like, how many ends is this per mitt? You know, like for a set of them, it's 10 ends per mitt. So a set is 20 ends to weave in. And I was like, why did I do that? Why did I count? Just to have them feel like I don't know. It could be a look. I don't think my the people I'm making it for would appreciate the fringe look, but it could be a look. And then we were traveling last weekend, so had some time in a car and I was like, I want to cast on a sweater. I was looking at the, I'm going to call it Baba, but it's like BABA sweater. It had 2x2 stripes. And I did not, so the neckline was kind of like this funnel neckline, but it was like fingering on like bigger needles, right? So kind of a drapey, or maybe it was like two strands of lace that was in the pattern. I was like, I'm going to end up modifying the heck out of it. And I actually have been wearing my sweater that I made last year with Queen City's Speckle Fairy colorway so much. It's just such a nice light layer, right? Like these kind of cooler mornings where it ends up being warmer. I can wear it, even throughout the day. I love taking it with me when I go places because it's like super light, right? Like you don't feel like you're carrying around this big, heavy sweater, but it's like warmer. So it's almost like that ranunculus level, but like maybe a little bit further down. Like it's not that airy and that see-through, but it is very light. And so I just basically am recreating that sweater. So the V-neck neckline that I enjoy with two colorways that were in my stash separately. And I like saw them together and I was like, these are meant to be together. Like it was like a very kismet moment. So I bought this green from Leading Men Fiber Arts as a possible, I think it's Krampus,
Mm,
as a possible to go with my Rhinebeck sweater last year as like the speckle yarn, or the not speckle, the sprinkle yarn where there was like little bips of
mhm,
in it. And I decided to go with like the pow green versus the like moody dark green. And so it was like already caked up in my stash. And then I was going through my like fingering weight yarns that I had available in my ZK bin. And I had some lavender loon. And this is
mm,
a base that I don't think she has anymore. You can kind of see um, some of the halo on it. It's 55% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 20% mohair, kid mohair.
mm.
So I think I got it when she was like, this was a base I was trying out, and you can see why I was drawn to it. There's like blips of blue and green in
Mhm.
it. And the colorway I believe is cocoon.
Mm. Oh, I have
Um,
some cocoon. It's a beautiful
yeah,
color.
it's a beautiful colorway, but like together, it just feels like
Mhm.
magic. Like magic is happening on my needles. So this was again cast on Friday, had a lot of car knitting while we were driving, and just decided like obviously I have one skein of the green and two skeins of this well, not obviously, but I know I have two skeins of the multi. And so I was like, well, the collar, and then maybe I want to have like 6 rows of the main and 5 rows of the green. So, which led to kind of a fun little, 2 rows of the main, 1 row of the contrast, 2 rows of the main, 2 rows of the contrast. So I have 5 rows of the contrast to 6 rows of the main. And it kind of creates an interesting, like, visual texture. And I feel like this is like I'm on the ribbing on the bottom already, like the muscle burra stripes, right? Like it was just like
Mm, mhm,
I'm just
mhm,
like really enjoying the actual striping of the yarns. Big blousey, super drape on this because I'm using like sixes with fingering, right?
mhm,
So yeah, I'm loving it. It's going to be another, I feel like, staple. And it was just throw a neckline on it, a V-neck neckline, and then do some increases to make sure that I've got enough room on the sleeves, and then whoop, go to town. But yes, the striping is definitely giving me energy. And as I mentioned, not sleeping well.
mhm,
So I refuse to lay in bed. I guess this is a tip or trick
mhm.
instead of a whip, but I refuse to lay in bed when I can't sleep. Like it feels so wasteful, right? Like to just lay there for hours and hours. So I've just been getting up and knitting if I can't get myself to sleep. And this is what I've been knitting. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Not necessarily a pattern per se, but inspired by other
Mhm.
patterns, neckline that I enjoy, some striping that I was looking at on a more current pattern, and a sweater that I've been wearing, emulating a sweater that I've been wearing a lot
Yeah.
recently. So,
Another tip or trick, I guess, around sleeping is that I tend to, when somebody's not there and I'm having whatever, for whatever reason, I'm by myself and I can't get back to sleep, I put on like a comfort podcast or show
mm,
and I just play it and I'm watching it, but then I know that I'm gonna fall asleep while I'm watching it. Um, so it's not like new to me. It's just something that
mhm.
plays that like, oh yeah, I know what's going on here, and I my brain is focused enough, but not focused because it's not new. It's familiar. And then
Yeah, Nick at Night Friends. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Nick at Night Friends. Perfect. Yeah, for
Yes.
you. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that leads to me sleeping on the couch while holding my knitting, which is fine. In the grand scheme of things, I guess is fine. But yeah, super loving all of the tops that we've got going on. And excited to see everybody else's items that they're making to wear to ZK, like mentally, whether or not you've already packed up what you're going to be wearing, or you're still needles blazing trying to get it done. Yeah, it's an exciting time. And
Fun.
I'm excited about your whips. I'm excited about my whips, obviously.
I still have, I must make a linen salty air before the retreat, and I have not cast it on at all. And I have three, 5, 10 whips here that I
Yep.
want to get through as well. So I think that
I don't know if
there
you
will,
have these people in your life, Amy, but I do, that are mentioning the number of days. And I was like, I don't want to freak you out, but I was like, oh my God, how many
don't tell
days?
me. No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I'm already freaked out that the kids' last week of full school, of classes is next week.
Yeah.
And then they have that week of like doing senior things and then they graduate. Like that's
Yep.
how close we are.
Yep. I know. This
One
weekend
thing
is
at a
the Met
time.
City Marathon
June
and half
2nd, I will
marathon.
start freaking out.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Anyway, bye.
Bye. Uvta. Uh, all right. I do have a 9:15.
Oh, okay,
So
9:50.